And going to the Tigers game was awesome. Wish they would have kept winning so we could have seen them again, but they had an incredible year. As far as our team, since we started practice officially, we've had some really good workouts, and guys needed to improve, and I think we got some improvement out of some key guys. Our 4 seniors that are actually our 4 guys that have started at one time or another, in Coen and Carson and Jaxon and Jeremy. Now they're not all seniors, but they're upperclassmen. I don't know what a senior is anymore. It's anybody that's here longer than the first year. So it's interesting times we're in, but they've been really good workouts. They've all made some progress and improvement. And then, we've got some new guys that have come in, and I think they're going to help us tremendously. The freshmen have done a really good job so far. I'm really kind of been impressed with our roster. Trey, Devine, Denham, Cam, and Jordan are our new people. And of course, Caleb is the one that has been injured and will not be playing this year. And it's a shame because if you saw him right now, you'd swear he could play. He's been a freak on his workouts and he's gotten so much better. And but it's going to be a while yet with that injury. I think the other key people were Kerr and Jesse. And Kerr and Jesse, Jesse needs to make some improvements, and he has. He's gained weight, he's lost some weight. He's really shooting the ball well. And then Kerr is probably the best pure shooter we got on our team, and has to improve defensively, which everybody has to make some adjustments. As I went through the roster really quick and look at all my guys, I think Jaxon Kohler's in the best shape he's been in. Jeremy is definitely recovered, and I say that because, in fairness to him, he barely got any of the summer last year. And when you realize just how big injuries are when you miss a big portion of things, and missing a summer for a basketball player is very important. Teams are made in the winter. Individual players are made in the summer, and the teams are made in the winter. And I think he missed that. This year, he's shooting the ball better. He's way more athletic. That's been exciting. I think in the guys that have really shown something, both of our freshmen. Sometimes you get a freshman and they're not as good as what you thought when you get them. And these 2 guys have been better than I thought as I got them. And Cam has been incredibly strong. Rebounds the daylights out of the ball, can guard a lot of people, is starting to shoot the ball better and better, and maybe Jordan has been the surprise of our team. He kind of reminds me of our whole staff talks about a Max Christie. He's a little bigger, not as good yet, but he's got some of those characteristics. He's way better defensively than we thought he was going to be, and he's been a great addition. And Denham Wojcik and Doug's kid who played at Harvard, he is definitely going to help us in the backcourt. He's played a lot of point where he was at. He's got size, he's got strength and toughness and brains, and that's going to bring a big part. And of course, the other guy that we think has to really help, the baseball guys giving fives to each other over there, Dan and Fred, interrupting my press conference with the wrong sport, but we'll take that anyway. Appreciate you being here, to be honest with you. But Devine is another guy, and Denham and Jeremy. Devine can play the 2 or 1, and those other 2 guys are more point guards, and so I think we have some significant depth. And 3 other guys that I really didn't talk about. Nick Sanders has been a rock for me. I love Nick. He's been a scout team guy, but he's been an incredible teammate, and keeps improving. One of these days, coach will be smart enough to play him like he has a lot of his former walk-ons, and those guys have done good things for us in the past. And then the Walton twins, Brennan and Colin, and I think Brennan's been healthy, and Colin did have a little bit of a knee twist, but he's supposed to start practicing again right now. So who did I forget so far? Are the three, I talked about Jeremy, but the four mainstays, of course, are Carson Cooper, who I think has improved tremendously with he's shooting the ball better, his jump hook's better, he's catching it better, he's athletic as most guys his size could be, and he's had a great summer. As far as Jaxon Kohler, he's probably in the best shape he's been in, and that really created something good for us because he'll have a better time. He can shoot the ball. He can score it in the post. He's been one of our best rebounders, and I think we've got two really good rebounders and two good guys who can score it down there. And then, of course, our last one is Coen Carr, and Coen has improved his shooting. He's gained 10 pounds. I know Jonathan would like to have him over there. He has got size, strength, jumps with anybody in the world, not anybody in the country, and but it's improved his shooting. It's really improved his defense and his ball handling, and so we're hoping to get him out on the break. We're hoping to get him in positions where he can score it, and his shooting has improved. It's still got work and ways to go. So other than that, I think we have different offensive weapons. I think we could be a very good defensive team. I think we're a better rebounding team than we were a year ago. In the 31 years for me, coming off a great year last year, it's pretty exciting because what last year taught me is chemistry and relationships and things like that still matter in sports, as they should in every walk of life. And yet we're into a transaction-based world, which you young students that are here don't get fooled. It's not as good. Sooner or later, relationships do matter. And that's been my whole deal the whole time. And I'd like you to know that I'm not changing one iota on that. Last year was proof of it. But at the same time, talent matters too. And I think our league is going to be very good top to bottom. And other than opening up for some questions on that, I would like to say, at this time, I've been through a lot of years here. And I've been through a lot of good teams and bad teams and average teams and good football teams and ones that weren't as good. And I'm in the community, I'm a fan too. And I just like to say to our people out there, things change. And I just went and did something that was near and dear to my heart. We had an open weekend recruiting. I flew up to see my buddy Mariucci get his jersey retired. And that same weekend, they had the reunion for a team that won the national championship. And there were 4 members of Hollywood there. They're going to do a movie on his team. And you'd say, why would they do a movie on a team from the UP? Because they're the only team in football and basketball they can find that went from 0-10 to a national champ. And the reason I say that is things change so much right now. I mean, locker rooms are difficult to keep everybody together. We have so many people outside. And I just want to say to our fans, make sure, going into year 3, I lost to Central Michigan and Detroit. And I didn't need anybody to put a for sale sign on my front yard. My wife put it on there for me, and I don't think it was because she wanted to move, but I thought I was getting fired that year, and strange things happen. So disappointed. I like the way we played at USC. I like the way we played at Nebraska. I don't think Jonathan liked the way we played last weekend, and yet I'm asking you that we got a big couple weeks ahead of us. And you don't win games by yourself. You win games with the support of the people that are supposed to be supporting you. And hey, I know what frustration is. I've been a part of it as a fan, and I've been part of it as a coach. And all I know is there's no way on God's green earth that I'm sitting here having accomplished some of the things we accomplished, but our incredible community, our fans, and the people that really helped us win some games. So somehow, some way, be true Spartans and be like me. I'm gonna support them, and I'm gonna be there for them, and I think we'll turn some things around. We played good enough in some games, and that's where we're at. So questions, I'll take them. More fun. Students, you'll see what it's like, but you'll see what your life is gonna be like in the future.
I always ask them first, I say, what's your major and do you have time to change it? I think that's always a good way to do it.
There's honesty. I gotta admit though, in my profession, I'm doing the same thing.
It's a good litmus test, right?
Yeah.
For you, I mean, you mentioned it's 31 years. You've gone through 11 Big Ten titles now. And I don't know if it's happened yet in this era of the portal, but how do you keep the team focused to either repeat what you did last year or take it farther?
Keeping a team focused is the number one task at hand for everybody. I mean, there's so much noise out there, winning or losing, because there's always other things. There's the portal, there's financial things. There's always people lurking around right now. And I say the same thing that I say every year. The biggest thing I got to do early is keep the distractions and the dirtbags away from my program. And that's not easy to do. And you can classify who you want to classify as distractions, and you can classify who you want to classify as dirtbags. But people that are trying to get in and dynamite your programs, and we're all going through it. It's not at Michigan State, it's everywhere. And so it's a different era. It's a different era. But what I learned last year is I complained about it for a couple years, and I don't want to accept it because I don't think it's good for our players. I don't think it's good for the student athletes. I don't think it's good for the students. But I've accepted that I got off those committees. I'm going to worry about my team and Michigan State University. And it worked for a year, We weren't as talented as some of my teams last year. We were as together. Whether we can build on that, that's going to be the task at hand, and one that's exciting to me because the relationships matter to me. And realistically, we haven't lost many guys here. There's a couple guys we told should look other places. There's one or two guys that always leave. But in the general scheme of things in the last 4 or 5 years, we have not had many guys out of the portal here, and that's not what I'm looking to do. But I got to do what I got to do to make sure this program stays at the level it stays at. So I always want to get it better, but last year was a hell of a year. It shows what winning does, as sometimes, and when you win, you become better than you are, but when you lose, you sometimes become worse than you really are. And that's the mental games now that we have to play because of the social media, because of the number of people. I mean, you guys aren't even as bad anymore, Back when you had all the power because they didn't have social media, we had to read those goofy newspapers that you guys printed in. It was just you guys. Now, anybody can have any say from any spot in the world. And so there's a lot more on the players, and for the little they get on a positive side, I feel sorry for them on what they get on a negative side. And that's why the X's and O's are becoming less. How you handle the Jimmies and Joes is becoming more. And we owe that to our kids and to our players, and that's kind of takes up a lot more time. But it's kind of more rewarding too when you have years like you had last year. So I'm going to still try to build, but I'm going to try to maintain what I believe is keys to winning and successful programs.
Tom, you give me a moment to unpack what may be a crazy question, but you kind of alluded to it, talking about this great run that you had and expectations. I know the great expectation you have for this program, but programs on campus and even across the country, is the expectation for winning realistic or even fair at this point, 2025 going forward?
No. How's that for a good answer? Positively not, because you're talking everywhere, right? Correct. Yeah, and I think it is a good question. What the perception is you're paying players so they should win, but so is everybody else. It's really no different, except some have gone off the chain as far as, some are the Yankees and some are the rest of us, but for the most part, people have less tolerance. I think that has really hurt us. I think the gambling stuff has really hurt us too, because people are mad that they lost money. That's more important than just being mad that they lost the game. And so I do think there's more pressure on all these kids, which means there's more pressure on the coach. I'm supposed to be able to handle it. I've been in it a lot, I've been through a lot, and I will handle it. But my new job is to make sure I help them handle it, which that's a task. It's a task, and but boy, when you do accomplish those things and you feel like you've helped somebody, that's almost as big as winning the game. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do, and I think if you do it right, you do win more games.
Tom, you succeeded last season with the strength in numbers approach with your team, and then when Jace sort of ascended, it whole other level for the team. I'm curious if there's anyone on this roster that you think has that ability to ascend. I know it's the beginning of practices, but if there's anyone that has that.
That's a good question. You always need somebody, and Jace did. And Jace did an unbelievable job, and what was best about Jace, he was such a fun kid to be around. He was positive every day. He was good for me. I'd like to have him back just so for me. The hell with his points and all the other stuff. He was just a very upbeat, very positive kid who believed in himself, and he was a good teammate. And I think we got a lot of good teammates. I think Coen is trying to become more of a leader. We got 4 captains, and sometimes you have 4 captains because nobody's a good captain. We have 4 captains that were all picked by the team, and they were all almost unanimous picks because I think they believe in each one of those guys in a different way. Coop has taken our young guys and really done his job. Some are going to do it by their points and scoring, but don't be fooled. Jace did it in a lot of ways. It wasn't just his points and scoring. Some are going to do it because of their defense and rebounding. But we make no bones about it. We got 4 guys that have had experience, 4 guys that have all started some. I think each one of them has to perform at a higher level, and if they do, we'll be a better basketball team. If they don't, coach didn't do his job. I really believe that. So I think any one of the 4 could step up at a different level, and yet, what did Jace average? 12 or 13? We were between 8 and 13 for most people. That's still strange in college basketball, but it's not strange when you're playing a lot of people and your strength is in numbers, and people actually aren't jealous of one another. And probably, if there's anything I learned in sports in this day and age, that was the greatest part of that. I never worried about who was jealous about somebody else. They were all pulling together, which is the way team sports are supposed to be, but not always that way.
Tom, over here, kind of following up on that, how much, this is 31st year, how much did last year kind of rejuvenate you to know that in this transactional era you could see internal development, like, a guy like Jace emerging, Coen taking the next step, Jeremy, all this stuff? How much does that kind of refresh your perspective in the modern game?
Well, I'd be crazy to tell you that anybody thinks that this is still great. There are issues with college sports right now that everybody's trying to figure out, and I'm not going to sit here and paint a silver, lining to it. It's difficult, and everybody handles things differently, and yet what I learned, if we can all stay on the same page together, which really is the same it's been 20 years ago, it's the same. You know, I always look at my other sport, you know, my other love, which is football, and I look around the country. I don't just look here, and I'm watching and I'm listening to guys that I respect, like a Kirk Herbstreit or Nick when he's doing games, and I'm listening to what they say, and you know, there's all these different offenses and defenses and all these crazy things that are going on now, and they call them something different so that the coach can sound smarter and this and that, and at the end of the day, if you can't block and tackle and take care of the ball, you probably don't win. In basketball, if you don't defend and rebound and take care of the ball, you're probably not going to win. So there's a lot of different changes, and last year we got to the free throw line. The little things we did. We shot 78% from the line. We took care of the ball better. Our defense was very good. We rebounded the ball pretty good. And then the stat that nobody can measure. The chemistry, camaraderie, and togetherness of a group that is focusing on one common goal and not a bunch of different goals is incredibly strong. And so, you know, a lot of things have changed over 31 years. Nothing has changed over 31 years if you really want to talk about what it takes to be successful. And that's not just in basketball or football or baseball. It's in anything you do in life. So I'm just going to keep grinding it. I'm adjusting as the days go, as the weeks go, as things change. I'm adjusting, but I'm not changing the principles and what has helped make me successful or withstood the test of time for years and years and years.
Tom, could you sort of compare a little bit Trey and Kerr and what they both bring to that position? How are they similar? How are they different?
Yeah.
Where's sort of the state of that, if you call it a position battle or a competition at this point?
It should be a position battle, and it should be one of our most important position battles. In Trey, we have a phenomenal athlete. I mean, he's got Coen Carr athleticism. He's got a 40-some-inch vertical jump. He's strong. He's built. He's been well-traveled, which isn't the norm for here, but all of it wasn't his fault. The one place he was, his coach died. I mean, it's been strange situations. But that has hurt him, too, to be moving all over the place, because defensively, he's got the longest ways to go. But being the athlete that he is, I think he's going to, and he wants to, he's been a great kid to coach, so I think you're going to see great improvement by him. In Kerr, he is probably our best pure shooter. He has changed his body too. He is more athletic. He's got to get a little better with the ball, and he's got to get better defensively. So if there's a weakness right now, it's maybe at the 2 spot defensively. Hopefully, that used to be one of my fortes, so maybe the coach can do a better job helping the kid do a better job. And if we can improve that, they both can shoot it. I mean, Trey's got incredible range, very, very good three-point shooter, and Kerr can really shoot it too. And I think there'll be times they'll both be on the floor at the same time. We can still move Coen around a little bit, and yet Cam Ward is, you know, really coming on in practice, and Jesse. So I think we have enough bodies. We just got to make sure that they can do what they need to do to help us win.
Hey Tom, Alex Giannakopoulos with Wood TV in Grand Rapids. Last year, you guys weren't picked to win the Big Ten, but you won the conference by 3 games. This year, you're 6th the coaches poll. Do you feel like with the amount of guys you have returning, that once again this team could be overlooked, and how much do you enjoy proving expectations wrong?
I don't enjoy it at all. I'd rather be pick 1, personally. So I don't enjoy that at all, but I understand it. I mean, I just want to know who's picking anybody. You know, I don't feel slighted for where we're picked, and I don't feel excited about where we're picked, because I don't think I'm in it, and I don't know. And a lot of you guys or your counterparts are voting on it and making, I don't know how in the hell they know. Because there's somebody, I mean, we got like 5 teams in our league that had 10 new players. On some of those teams, that's going to work out as a positive. On some of those teams, that's going to work out as a negative. And nobody knows that. So I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. And you know, the good news is the bad news. I mean, we have a schedule from hell, you know, and the jerk that scheduled them is standing in front of you. So I got nobody to blame but me. But again, I had opportunities, you know. Danny called me and wanted to play UConn. That had to be in an exhibition game, but that is a really good game for us. They're really good. I wanted to go to their place. I wanted to go on the road. I want to see how we handle that. And then when you have, you know, Arkansas and Kentucky and Duke and Carolina, the beauty of it is you all been waiting for it. You all been waiting for it. You didn't even know it because some of you weren't born when it wasn't happening. But everybody looks for some good non-conference home games. And it's been very difficult for me. I've always wanted to, you know, when Tubby was at Kentucky, we did more and a couple things like that. But a lot of guys, when Billy was at Florida, we did it. But a lot of people don't want to play home and homes. They want to play neutral sites. And Duke owed us a game. John was great because of us going down there before. And John Calipari, I mean, I don't know, he just, you know, figured out that it'd be fun to play home and home. So they're coming here this year. So we have Duke and Arkansas, now two of the better teams in the country coming here. But that's what I wanted. That's what our fans deserve. They deserve, even you media people might deserve not to have to go on a road trip to see top-notch teams coming in here. I hate to do it for you guys, but maybe a little bit of me did. But I think that's a very, very strong statement for us. And but who knows what that means? You know, I've been 2-6 in the preseason at one point that year. I think it was 2003 when we played everybody except the Celtics and God. But this year we're challenging ourselves. You know, it's all I'm worried about is what's going to make my team good enough to get where I want to get in February. Now, in saying that, you can damage yourself too. Because this day and age, you lose a few games. Hell, my mother will be tweeting about me, okay? But it just doesn't bother me. I just got to make sure it doesn't bother our kids, depending how it goes. Either way, winning or losing. But exciting for sure.
Coach, I know you touched on it a little bit, but just 5 times in 31 years, you've had 4 captains on a team. What makes this group so special? And maybe they each have a different leadership style. Just touch on that a little bit.
They do. It's a good question. I've always believed that, you know, there should be a couple of captains. And so some years we say as a staff, we're going to pick the captains. And we just thought it was so important seeing what happened last year that we would let our team pick them. And when they did, I mean, our staff voted 2 in a separate, and it was identical. You know, and Jaxon Kohler, he's been through a lot in his career. And as, you know, these are guys that could have transferred. And they have a love for this program, for this university, and that made him a deserving guy that the players appreciated. This summer, he was really good with Cam and our freshmen. He was very good with Jordan. And Carson Cooper, he's kind of the old man of the group. I mean, because he's from Jackson, so he's been here his whole life. And his dream was to play here. And now he got to live his dream. Now I'd like to see him live the rest of his dream and finish the job. But probably as good a guy helping everybody in a quiet way. Okay, Coen was the guy that I needed to step up. And Coen, I think, has stepped up incredibly well. If you listen to him on the floor, he talks now as much as anybody. That was not his personality or his style. He could airlift up, but it wasn't projecting out. So he has, players voted for him like they should have. And Jeremy, I said when I got him, you know, he's in my Mateen Cleaves mold because he talks, let's face it, sometimes too much, but so do I. So that's why I love him. But he he has the toughness and the intelligence to say the right things. It's sometimes how he says them. I think he's really turned the corner on that. And, when I talk to different players about why they voted for him, it was really impressive. So I think, even though it's only happened 5 times, I didn't know it was 5, but I think they got it right, and I think I'm excited to work with those guys.
Hey, Tom, you talked a lot about what Coen has improved at as a leader, as a shooter. So what are your overall expectations for him coming into the season?
Well, they're big. I have big expectations for Coen, but they've been earned. His expectations have been earned. I think this day and age, we give too many things. We give kudos to people for what they do, or the expectations we have of them are given because we hope they're there. He's earned his expectation that I place on him. He's gotten better, he's gotten stronger, he's gotten bigger. His body fat is, I think, 0. I mean, he's an unbelievable kid. So hard not to love Coen Carr. You can fall in love with the fact that he can jump over you, but that's not why I fall in love with him. I fall in love with him because I think he worked his tail off this summer in the areas of ball handling, in the areas of shooting, in the areas of his strength, and then he's gotten better with his defense, which is hard to do in the summer because they play in that summer league, and the average score is 181 to 179, so it's illegal to play defense in that league, but they can play some offense, and that helps too.
Relationships with your players are not a new thing for you, but it's interesting, a few moments ago you termed it my new job, and I'm wondering, with being off all the committees and the acceptance, as you term it, how much of your new job is spending more time with your players, and how do you find the delicate balance of spending time with them and not having them get sick of you? Not that anyone will get sick of you, but is there a balance there?
I could name you a lot of people sick of me. No, the funny part is the new time I have is I get to see my family more. I never slighted my players. I mean, I've said it my whole career, and I'll say it till the day I leave here. Relationships mean the world to me, and I do not think you can ask people to do things that are superhuman, because you're pushing these guys to the nth degree if they don't trust and believe in you. And the only way, the days of being a dictator, I finally got good enough. You win a national championship, I guess you're in the Hall of Fame, or you break some records, and you're finally good enough where your titles should matter. Titles don't matter anymore. And I'm not so upset about that. They don't matter. Every year you've got to earn your keep. You guys don't respect anybody because of their title. You expect how you're treated, what you do for them, and what they do. So I've got to earn that every year. I don't get to say I'm the head coach. That matters a little bit, but it doesn't matter as much. And you're right. The only way you get the only way you get people to trust you is to spend time with them. And so again, we try to do some things. Last year we went to Spain. It was great. It was easier. This year we've had to do some things around here, or nights, or different things. But when I say new job, listen, I put a lot of time into the NCAA and to the Coach Association, and was on every committee known to man, and I'm not ashamed of it. I did it, and a lot of other coaches did it, and we did the best we could, but we didn't do good enough. And that ate me alive a little bit, because the game's more important than my team. The game's going to be around here when I'm dead, and the game was around here before I was born. So the game's still important, but right now, the administrators, the coaches themselves, got to figure out which direction the game is going. And that means the game of college athletics, because it's got its issues. And I'm afraid that the kids that you think are winning out, in the long run, are going to be losing out. So it's not a new job. It's, if I said it that way, I didn't mean it that way. It's just I'm able to not get as frustrated with the things I can't control. How's that?
Oh, okay. I guess I'll go. What is
God, I thought we were done. That was going to be a hell of a day. Go
What
back
is
there
it?
and talk to the students.
What is it about Cam and Jordan that has surprised you, and what do you see their role being?
Well, Cam's a man. I mean, he's like an Antonio Smith. He's got a different skill level, though. But he is strong, he's tough, he's smart. He's won championships and knows how to win. And he's been fun to coach. It's been fun to watch him grow. And boy, if Carson Cooper and Jaxon Kohler, if there's two guys that have done an unbelievable job with Cam, it's those two guys. They've kind of brought him along and really helped him out. In Jordan, we thought when we got him skinny, kind of, probably wouldn't be very good defensively. He's impressed me. First of all, he's gained 15 pounds already, and he's gotten stronger. He is one of our better shooters. He is 6'6.5". He's got a long wingspan. He's a very intelligent kid, both basketball-wise and in the classroom, and plays a lot harder. So Lorenzo Guest probably should, my summers are about character building. Character building's done in the weight room, to me. And this kid's character, his confidence has just moved up and up and up. And so I think those two kids are going to really be good for us this year and in the future.
You talked about the schedule a little bit already, but with the changes in exhibitions and being able to play multiple Division I opponents, how does that change how you approach the exhibitions, and also what do you kind of hope to learn from your team in those two games with Bowling Green and UConn?
Well, it makes me feel really good because I think it is a good idea. It makes me feel real sad because being a Division II guy like I was, not being able to play those teams as much, I kind of feel bad for them. It was a thrill of a lifetime for them to be able to do that. I wish we could offer that, but especially with a schedule like we got early, we felt like we had to play somebody where that was going to play a different style, and Bowling Green's going to do a little bit of that, and then somebody who's really, really good. We played Gonzaga, we played Tennessee. You used to be able to play one each, and then they used to be where they weren't public. And now they're public. I mean, our season used to start October 15th. Now it starts September 22nd. It seems like that extra time I have from it's getting taken up. The season is longer. The recruiting period's longer because of this new age we're in of, having to get so many different players every year. So I think the exhibition part of it is good. I just feel bad for the Division II and III schools that I enjoyed helping financially some, and being one of those guys at one point in my life, being able to live the dream of playing at a Michigan State or Michigan or Ohio State or wherever, I think was special. I really do.
Tom, of the 4 transfers, obviously the most you've had in 1 year. We know that's not maybe your preferred way of always doing it, but I'm just wondering how it's gone so far with that many new guys coming in that way, and just how you thought they've implemented with things, and how you felt just with the process of coaching them, getting them all up to speed.
It's challenging. It's challenging. I mean, it's got goods to it. I wouldn't do it, but it is challenging. It's you get guys that have been in different programs, a couple different programs, and there's different priorities put on each program you're in, and then in a short period of time, you've got to convince them that this is the right way. So it is challenging, but it is what it is. I mean, because I don't like it, because I don't like what's going on. That's the way it is. I still say, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, there's going to become a day, whether I'm alive or dead, there's going to become a point in time when people are going to realize that there's going to be a lot of unintended consequences to what's going on. In the meantime, I had to do a better job of figuring out that I got to do what I got to do. But there'll never be a day when the transfer portal won't start in my locker room. That's the first place I'm going, for the portal. And trying to retain my own guys, because I think that that loyalty to a program is still going to matter. I think people still want to follow guys up. I feel bad for the little kids that I was once, and that you'd lock in on a guy and you'd see him, and now you just kind of got to lock in on, who knows, maybe a team like Pro Bowl is getting. So I'm good. I'm good with it. I don't agree with it. So I'll still stay with my same mantra that I always have, that I still love my job. I might even love it more. I just don't respect my profession as much. And I mean that. And that shouldn't be a negative to anybody. That shouldn't be, that's Izzo. That should be, Izzo is thinking about the players he coached more than he cares about him. I promise you that's the truth. And when somebody proves to me that overall this is better, I'll be glad to. In the meantime, I'll just talk less about it, do my job, spend more time with my guys. So when it's time to transfer, they say, nah, I don't want to go anywhere. And I want to be right here. And that'd be good with me.
All right. We have the players upcoming. We'll wrap it with one right here.
You talked earlier about how you have had to start using the portal a bit more than before to stay at a high level. And then just now you're mentioning about how the portal starts in the locker room. So I'm just a bit curious as to what are some of the main traits you're looking for potentially bringing in certain players? And then where did you see those when you decided to bring in Trey, Caleb, and Divine?
Well, we had a unique thing this year in that, you kind of expect some guys, like in Garrick Norman's situation, we had a rough start. He had a lot of injuries. Some guys surprise you once in a while. And let's face it, this was a great thing for our program and a great thing for Jace, but nobody thought Jace was one and done when he came in. And he's playing well. And so I'm excited for Jace, but that left us to have to really turn a completely different direction quickly. So that's what you have to do now. You have to be able to adjust on the run, and the guys we brought in you have to figure out guys you can find, guys you can afford, and guys that you think fit into what you do. And so there's 3 different areas there that you're looking for, at least 3 different areas. And yet, I think we found the guys we need. Now it's, can we get them to our level as quick as we need to get them there? And so would it have been a year where it would have been better to play a Dick Vitale cupcake schedule early? Probably. But what the hell fun is that? Whatever years I got left, I don't have 30. So I'm gonna get what I can get out of it every day. And what I get out of it is playing the best people I can play at anytime, any place, anywhere. Has never changed here since John Chaney taught me that's what I should do back in 96. And worked pretty well for me. Cut off more than you can chew, maybe. Fun challenge, definitely. Fun for our fans, tremendously. And challenge for our players will be what you do. But getting new guys acclimated that quickly, it's going to be something that I haven't had to do much in my career here. Just another challenge, another way of doing it. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to spending some time with you guys. You can always. When you come to practice, I got a bone to pick with all of you. I open up practice, at least once a week, right? Where's Max? Once or twice a week, and you guys always used to want to come and watch a lot of practice. You guys just come for the end of practice because I think you guys are getting a little soft and lazy. So don't you guys get soft and lazy now. Be there early and want to be there for everything. And if we don't do that, we'll change it up because Mex gets a little bit, working for John Thompson for a while. Mex was 6'3" when he started, so he's been pounded on a little bit, but he was 6'3" when he started, 5'3". He hasn't seen that in a lot of years. But we love him. We love him. And I'm going to come back and say hello to this class here. I do think LA and of course Dan, I think it's pretty cool that she brings her class here to learn from you guys, or she brings her class here because she's run out of things to say to them, or it's part of the comedy hour of having to listen to me. So one of the three reasons it's here, but I think it's really cool because I think this is real compared to what you get in a book. And I would give her a lot of credit. I hope, this is her way of maybe giving you something that they don't get everywhere. So take advantage of it and try to make sure that when you get to be one of those people, you don't act like this side of the room does. All right? Thank you, guys.